Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you are new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds. If you'd like to join the family, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, make sure you click on the bell icon and so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. And if you could hit that thumbs up on the video as well, that would be great. If you'd like to participate on the discussion, you can join me most weekdays where I go live on YouTube around 4 p.m. Central Time. Or outside of my YouTube channel, if you'd like to reach me, you can consider joining the Discord I've created. There is a link for that down in the description below. Also, down in the description below is a link to a Pinterest board. A lot of times people ask me kind of what foods I'm eating to help me with my weight loss, and that Pinterest board is a great place for you guys to check out those recipes that I've been eating. Today is day 894 of my challenge to lose 300 pounds. I've used a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet to lose 244 pounds so far, almost 45 pounds so far. If anybody has any non-scale victories, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. If you have any on-scale victories, I love hearing those as well. If you are struggling with your diet, let me know what is causing your struggles. Maybe there's something we can help you out with. If you're succeeding with your diet, let us all know what you're doing to succeed in your diet so we can share it with everybody else. And at the end of the day, what are some things that you are doing that will make staying on your diet easier than the alternative? Gonna switch over to the main here. Thank you guys for being patient. I didn't schedule my stream to start till later than normal, or actually it's kind of been more of a normal time now, but and then I ended up not even getting on for another 5 minutes after that. So I appreciate everybody that's been hanging out here. Cindy, pretty girl's mom, hello. Sarasota, Florida says, hey, I just came up with a potato recipe. What do we got here? You mix a ripe banana in both of them. The potato is like butter. Yum. So you take potato and banana and you mix it together. Yeah, I suppose if it was a pretty ripe banana, it would probably mush up. I'm not sure about the flavors. I don't know. Trying to think if there's anything that it compares to, but you said it's like butter. That sounds interesting. Might have to give it a shot sometime. Cindy says, hi, hope it's not Friday. No, it is not Friday. And you are not missing your PR appointment. Oh my God. I missed my physical therapy appointment this morning. I just totally spaced it. Like I got up early, got in my car and just drove to work and didn't even think about it. Like I thought about the night before, I guess a little bit, and that was part of the reason why I wanted to make sure I got up early. But I did not, I just spaced on it. Sarasota, Florida donated $2. Thank you so much, Sarasota, Florida. I'll have to pick up some bananas and potatoes and try them out. Thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that. It really is awesome. What was I talking about? I missed my physical therapy appointment this morning. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, Cindy says it was actually PR is what she wrote, but she meant physical therapy, her PT. Yeah, I missed my appointment this morning. And I didn't even realize I missed it until I was at work and I got a phone call and the caller ID came up and it had the town that my physical therapy is in. And as soon as I saw the caller ID, I got real disappointed because I thought I was getting stuff done this morning. And then I got a call. It was a physical therapist, and he's like, "Hey," and I was like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. I completely spaced." And I felt bad because I rescheduled the appointment, and then I missed the last appointment, so I scheduled for this appointment, or maybe I missed one and then the reschedule was, but anyways, I moved the appointment to today because I had my doctor's appointment yesterday. And so I had gotten all the approval from the doctor to be kind of released or be allowed to do a little bit more with my arm. So I was excited to go see the physical therapist, but I didn't end up seeing him. I talked to him for a little bit on the phone this morning. I explained to him that I went and saw the doctor. It was nice that he called me directly. That's who had called me. I explained to him that the doctor said that I could do physical therapy for 2 to 3 weeks. And he asked if I wanted to do it. And I was like, well, I don't really care one way or the other. I didn't say that. But we ended up deciding that I'm going to have a physical therapy appointment next Thursday in the morning. It'll probably be my last physical therapy appointment. Just to kind of wrap up the physical therapy stuff, and he can close out his file and stuff like that. But yeah, I completely spaced on that this morning because I got in my car and I just turned on autopilot in my head and just rode in my car. So yeah, I missed my physical therapy. Tennyson New York Girl says happy Thursday. Yeah, bananas and potatoes. People are talking about the bananas and potatoes. Cindy says that she's mixed banana and pineapple with sweet potatoes, and that's yummy. That might be worth trying. And she throws some cinnamon in there as well. Sarasota said that he just started doing it. You just started doing the butter and you just started doing the bananas and the popcorn yesterday, and you're doing it now with dry roasted popcorn. Is that what I'm getting? Maybe. See, Carrie says she can't imagine it together, but she would give it a try if someone gave it to her. Let's see. Our Tiny Acre says potatoes with carrot you've had done to make carrot cake tasting creamy. Okay. So you put bananas and potatoes and maybe some other things to make a carrot cake tasting creamy. And Sarasota says you've lost 80 pounds doing what this man is doing. That was right after your donation. I didn't see that. That's awesome that you've been able to lose 80 pounds doing this. I really think that it is an awesome way to lose weight, and it's incredibly, I'd say of all the ways I've tried to lose weight in my life so far, this is the easiest. The most difficult thing about eating a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet is learning how to cook the food that you get to eat. And that doesn't sound that bad to me. Like all these other diets, there's all kinds of things I can think of reasons why I hated those diets, why they were tough, why I couldn't stay on them. And the toughest part about this diet is just learning to make your own food and become dependent on yourself, or I'm dependent on my wife a good bit, I guess, but your unit, become dependent on your unit for food. You don't have to, I don't even think about going out and eating. Like, I haven't even thought about that thought until right now. I don't even like, that was like an everyday thing. Like I thought about it every morning, where I was going to get my food from, where I was going to eat out at. Like every lunch was where am I going to eat out at? Dinners was, maybe we'll eat at home, but maybe we'll get to go out to eat. Maybe we'll get to have somebody else make us food. And I don't even consider it now. Like we have complete control over what we eat. We don't eat anything that's processed. And that's been a huge part of why I've been able to lose weight. I quit letting other people control what I eat, because when you let other people control what you eat, or how what you eat is made, then that's where the added calories come in, the added unneeded stuff comes in. Lots of way to goes. Woohoo. Yeah, that's awesome, Sarasota. Losing 80 pounds is great. And then he says here, it's his 4th year success. No more going to the chiropractor ever again. Yeah, that's great. Because there's so many things that we get told are going to be chronic, or they're going to be lifelong conditions that you're going to have to deal with. And so when you say chiropractor, it kind of it always raises my my suspicion a bit. So the place where I live, or where I'm at, there is a very large, probably one of the largest chiropractic colleges in the nation. And so they do there's a lot of chiropractors in the area. There's a lot of people that came here to go to school and then never moved away and opened up a chiropractic shop. So I would bet per capita, there's probably as many of them around us as anywhere in the world. And I work in the moving industry, where there's a lot of back injuries, back tweaks. You hurt your neck, you hurt your lower back, you strain your muscles, things like that. So I've gone to a chiropractor a few times for things, and the one thing that always felt like they were trying to get across was to turn my temporary kind of issue that I was having into a once a week for the next rest of your life appointments to manage. Your neck hurts a little bit, but did you know your hips are off, out of alignment? You could really benefit from us working on those hips too. And then they kind of get you into this continual cycle of coming in and paying them. Now, I'm sure there's absolute relief that people get from chiropractors. And if you have a chronic injury, that the chiropractic kind of relieves that pain, there is benefits to it. But the experiences I've had with the chiropractor have not been for those types of injuries or that type of illness. But in some ways, that chiropractic work, it might just kind of still just be a band-aid for your poor health choices. That's what these diabetes medications people are taking, the heart medications that they're taking, those are band-aids that they're putting on their lifestyle. They want to hang out in that kiddie pool that has holes in it, so they just keep slapping band-aids on the outside of it, trying to keep the water in. And that's what you're doing. You're just putting band-aids on things and you're not actually healing the injury that you're doing to your body. And you're doing a lot of injury by the food that you're putting into it when you choose to eat processed foods and crap like that. Carrie says, yeah, my car was on autopilot. I was just so used to driving every morning. Yeah, I didn't even think. Carrie says, want us to remind you on Wednesday? Yeah, I suppose. I get a text message reminder from them. I had every plan to go to that meeting this morning, and then I just didn't even, I don't know. Wasn't on my mind. Our Tiny Acre says you've lost 142.7 pounds from your heaviest using this way of eating so far. You got quite a bit more to go, but 142 pounds, that's a whole person. Gosh, that's a whole person that you've gotten off your body. That's incredible. That's, I think about that a lot, like grabbing a backpack and, throwing that 140 pounds you lost in the backpack and just seeing what you can do. Like I almost, like I have my nieces and nephews and my older kids, like I pick them up and just to kind of be like, oh shoot, I used to have to pick more than this up to stand up anytime I wanted to stand up. And, 142 pounds. And the thing too is that, how difficult is maintaining that loss been? How difficult has it been to stay on your diet? Because like you said, you still have a lot more to go. And for me, that's where I was every time I failed all my other diets. I set a goal that was really only halfway a lot of times. So a lot of times my goal would be to just get to 300 or to lose 50 pounds or lose 100 pounds. But the goals were always to just get lighter than I am. And they were never really to be at a healthy weight. So those diets, while it was nice that I was at a lighter weight, I wasn't where I needed to be, and they were so hard to stay on that they failed. Like this diet for me has been incredibly easy to stay on, and even if I'm not what I would say perfect with this diet, I wouldn't gain weight. Like the whole second year of this diet, I ate a bunch of crap foods that I shouldn't have eaten. But I still stayed with no animal products. I just started eating more salt, oil, sugar, and processed foods. And I was able to still maintain my weight loss, even with little bits of slip ups, I guess. But right now I've not had any salt, oil, or sugar since the beginning of November. I think it was. I'd have to go back. I know it was well before we did the reboot, which was in January or the end of December that started. So it's been 6 months since I've had salt, oil, and sugar, and I feel great. Let's see. Our Tiny Acre says your husband wants to go out too much, but he's been working on going places I can stick to plan. Yeah, he wants to go out to eat. It's very the convenience. We give up so much for convenience, and we give up healthy choices for the convenience of having other people make the food for us. And then also, your husband, he wants to go out to eat because he knows that outside of your house, there's probably higher dopamine response foods than inside the house. Or if you make dinner, so by going out to a restaurant, he gets to kind of get that dopamine that he's craving, while you still eat compliant or still allowing you to stick to your plan. Carrie saying, you guys are all killing it. Yes, I'm very happy to see all you guys doing awesome on this diet. And it really helps kind of keep me motivated to do it. Sarasota said 4th year success. There's a lot of people that have been doing it longer than 4 years. and, you know, have lost weight and kept the weight off. And it's really great seeing everybody killing it. Christy says, hey, you were listening while walking your dog, but you couldn't comment. No problem. Thanks for hanging out. Our Tiny Acre said you had a freak out. You gained some back, but you got back down to where you were before the freak out. And now you're lower than that. And that experience made you better. Like I never was able to do that on any other diet. Have the snacksident, kind of have the break in the diet, you know what, this weekend it doesn't matter, the diet vacation. And I never got back on track. Like I would take a diet vacation and then it would turn into a diet furlough and then it would turn into diet retirement. And so but with this diet, you know, I that second year, you know, there's 52 weeks in that year, and I probably had 52, you know, maybe not 52, let's say 40 times where I ate something that was off diet, and then my next meal was 100% compliant. And the more I did that, I feel like the better I got. And the more I realized by doing that, I realized how much better I truly feel on diet than I feel off diet. Because I would have that vegan pizza, or I would have that, I'm trying to think of what else the vegan pizza was really the one that got us the most. I know there was others, but anyways, I would have that junk food, and then the next meal I would get back on track. So I would, you know, like, oh, and then so what happened was that I did that a few times, and I started to realize that I would go that weekend, or we would travel, and I would eat out while we were traveling. And then I'd go back and be compliant on my diet. And then after like 3 days, I would get this feeling of cleanness throughout my body again. Like I would feel the difference after my body flushed that out. And I realized that when I'm not eating the crap foods, my overall mood, my overall general satisfaction is higher. I may not get, you know, I may be able to artificially increase that dopamine by eating off diet foods. But when I do that, then my return brings me to a, you know, a lower point of, you know, so I don't come back to where I was as far as that feeling of feeling great. You know, if I was at 95% and then I ate something that brought me up to 100%, I would come back to 94.5%. And then I would eat something again, bring me back up to 100%, and I'd come back to 94%. And so my baseline would change. That was the word I was trying to look for. My baseline of my mood would change. I would have these spikes of real high, but then my baseline would come back lower. So when I remove the processed foods, when I remove the salt, oil, and sugar, then that feeling of healthfulness comes back and my baseline goes back up. And I found that I'd rather keep my baseline higher consistently than deal with the up and downs of eating high processed foods and then kind of crashing from that. But I was never able to learn that on other diets because they didn't work that way, I suppose. But even if I would have, even if it would have worked that way, I just never did it to the point where if you want to be good at something, you have to practice it. And if you want to get good at getting back on your diet, I guess you have to practice it a little bit, or you're good staying on your diet, you have to practice it a little bit. And that's something where I think people, they fail their diets when they have that, that binge or whatever they call it, where they eat off plan and then they just never go back. Let's see. Our tiny acre. Let's see. Yeah. Carrie says, it's a beautiful day here. You took the girls out for a little walk around the downtown area after school. That's awesome. So did you take the dog? Huh? I bet you didn't take the dog. I'm just teasing. You probably wanted to go into the shops, and so you couldn't take the dog. Plus our dog needs a bath and a haircut. So anyways, but I'm just giving Carrie a hard time about the dog. We're taking the dog to dog training school starting next week. So that might end up interfering with my stream schedule a little bit, but I think it's just once a week that we're doing that. We got a 2-year-old dog that we'd like to be able to listen a little bit better than it does. So we're going to do some training for her. Carrie says she's walking the dog back home as she types. See, I was wrong. But she didn't. Did you take the dog downtown? Oh, she escaped. See, that's why you want to take her to the dog training. So I think she escapes just so she gets that time, that one-on-one time with you. She's like, well, if I escape, then they'll come get me, and then she'll hang out with me. But anyways, I was talking about how I felt on the diet. I have an awesome non-scale victory for me. I've teased about this on-scale victory or non-scale victory for a while, and it finally happened today. I decided to take care of it, and what it is I had to put a new notch in my belt. And the story about my belt and why that is something that is, it's big, but it's big to me this time, I guess, is because the belt I'm wearing currently is a belt that did not fit me when I was at my heaviest. I could not wear this belt at my heaviest weight. And it wasn't until I lost some of my weight that I started digging through some of my older clothing that I had grown out of. And when I was going through that clothing, I found this belt. What was significant about this belt was that there was already a extra hole pre-drilled into this belt. But the extra hole was not drilled in on the I'm getting too skinny side of this belt. The extra hole was drilled into the little 2-inch space that you get of slack on the belt there, so you can tuck it in. So the belt I found, I had drilled a hole in it to make it larger so I could continue to wear the belt when I was growing out of it. And then I found the belt. When I found it, I was actually smaller than that notch, which was nice. I didn't have to use that largest notch. But now I've gotten to the point where it is it was just my pant. I was pulling my pants up all the time. Like I was on the smallest loop. I'd pull them up. I'd pull them way up, like around my hips, and like put my shirt up over the pants so people couldn't see how high I had them jacked up. And so yeah, today I got the drill bit out and the drill and I actually drilled 2 holes in it. I drilled a hole where I'm at now, and then I drilled a hole for the next time I go down because I know that I'm gonna need it to be smaller than it is. Let's see here. Chrissy says that's a great non-scale victory. Yeah, I guess I've been putting off drilling the hole for a little bit. I probably could have for the last couple months if I wanted to. But I think the 4 or 5 pounds I lost yesterday at the weigh-in yesterday, I was like, it's time to actually grab it and do that. Let's see. Cindy says time for some smaller pants to go with that new notch. Yes, I need to go maybe to the Goodwill store or the thrift store and pick up some pants. The ones I'm wearing, they're really nice pants. I think I must have splurged and bought like a fancier pair of jeans one time. But they are far too big for me. And I wear them every day. I could probably show it off, I guess. Undo that. Yeah, the pants. I think this is pants I'm wearing. And you can tell the belt's got some years on it here, so got some use. But Cindy Davis donated $49.99 through Super Chat. I start taking my belt off and then you send me $50. That's amazing. Get those new pants. Thank you so much, Cindy. That's amazing. You guys are awesome with your donations. It really is it's really cool. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go pick up some new pants now. That's awesome. Thanks, Cindy. And Carrie had said, yes, we need to definitely get me some new pants and maybe retire the belt. Yes, the belt might need. I want to keep it. She said we could put it on display somewhere. Yes, maybe we can. Yeah, I do need to get a new belt. So, yes. And then our Tiny Acre says, yeah, you definitely need to get new ones. And Carrie says, now I have no excuse thanks to you, Cindy. I have to go clothes shopping or pick up some pants. So we'll have to figure out that because all my pants fit like that right now. And all my pants are either pants that I wore, like they're over 10 years old, or we got them when I got this shirt here, because this is another one of the shirts. So pretty much all the shirts that you've seen me wear in the past week, except for my work shirt, have been shirts that we got that were, I think it was somebody who had lost weight, had a bunch of shirts that they were getting rid of because they had lost weight. So Carrie was like, well, John's going to be that size soon. So we took those shirts, and now my goal is going to be to make these shirts hand-me-downs to somebody else. That should be my goal, is to take these shirts and pass them on to somebody else that's on their way to a healthier shirt size and healthier waistline. So our Tiny Acres says that your husband has a shirt like the one that I have on. Is it a Ryder Cup one? A golfing shirt? I'd be curious if it is or not. I wonder if now that I say, I bet this is a shirt they wore one year. That would make sense that this is like the shirt that the US team wore or something that one year, because I looked it up a little bit today. Actually, Carrie looked it up because she was like, "Do you even know what the Ryder Cup is?" And I was like, "I think it's golf." And so we looked it up because if somebody was going to ask me about it, I wanted to be able to at least know a little bit about it, which is I can't bring it up on stream, but it doesn't have the cup thing. No, that's fine. But um the what was I talking about? Oh my gosh. It was a picture of me. It was a picture of me. Oh, yeah. So I have in today's thumbnail, there's a photo of me wearing a green jacket. And the thing with that green jacket is it is a Green Bay Packers. It's American football. It's a coat that it's got their logo on the front. It's got the word Packers on the back of it. And I got that coat 10 years ago. It was something that there's a company that we order products from that if you order certain thresholds of dollar amounts, they give you a free item. And so I was at a lower weight at the time because I was taking the drugs the doctor was giving me to not eat. And I I was ordering from this company and I was like, hey, I could fit into one of the coats they give away. And so I ordered it for the Green Bay Packers because that's my favorite football team. And so I got this Green Bay Packers jacket. And it's a really nice jacket and it fits really well. It's very warm. I like the jacket a lot. What I don't like about the jacket is that I am a walking announcement that I am a Green Bay Packers fan. And while I am a fan of the Green Bay Packers, I am not that big of a fan of the Green Bay Packers. And so like I would wear that jacket. I remember one occasion I had it on. It was in December. We were taking the kids to see Santa Claus and we were waiting in line to see Santa Claus. And the guy in line behind me starts talking about the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. And I faked the conversation the best I could because I am a fan of the team. I've gone to a football game, but I don't really follow football anymore. Like I'll watch a game if I'm at my buddy's house or he's a big football fan. So he'll invite people over to games at his house and I'll come over and hang out. But I'm not like, I'm not a Sunday's a football day for me kind of guy. So when I was wearing that jacket, that's the impression that I was giving to people was that Sunday was football kind of guy. And so I don't like wearing the jacket. I'll wear it every now and then, or I wore it a little bit ago. And I mean, it fits now. I guess that was the other thing was that I didn't wear it for a decade because it didn't fit. And so now that it does fit, I'm more apt to wear it. But yeah, that's the thing about wearing clothes with logos on it. And I don't even know, just a silly story. But yeah, so the non-scale victory was the belt, and I'm really happy with that non-scale victory. It's funny. Carrie said I should get a belt, but those are stupid expensive too. It's funny how that works out. That was when I was at my heaviest. I have a belt somewhere in my house that's a 72-inch belt. It was like it might have been elastic material, but it was like that where they mesh it together so that you can put the belt buckle through any point on the belt. But the reason why I got the 72-inch belt was because it was on clearance for 75% off. And I was like, well, I'll just tuck in the excess, or I might even cut the excess off the end of it. But yeah, it's ridiculous how much they get for some of those things, like those accessories that shouldn't be that expensive. But anyways, what was the taking control of your diet health is what my title was here. I talked about that a little bit, about the not letting other people control the food that you eat. I like to think of it as the, even if it's people that, friends or family that are making you food, but they add stuff to that food to create that high dopamine response. Like that's what food has become within our society, is been how high can I raise somebody's dopamine, and I suppose when you're not eating a diet or when you're making food for yourself, sometimes you make high calorie foods, but a lot of times in my life prior to this diet, the highest calorie dense, the highest calorie source of my foods was outside of my home. There was high calorie foods at home, but when we processed the foods at home, we wouldn't be able to make them necessarily as high calorie density as Taco Bell makes their burritos or Burger King makes their hamburgers. But it was better than letting somebody else make the food. Even just us making food at home. If I would have only eaten food that either me or Carrie prepared my whole life, I never would have gotten to 520 pounds. I might have got to 400 pounds, 400, who knows? I never would have got to 520 pounds. It was me allowing other people to source my food, prep my food, cook my food, and present my food it was by doing that put on a bulk of my weight and continued this cycle of weight gain for years and years and years. Our Tiny Acre says, your fruit place always looks at you funny when you tell them you don't want the salty hot sauce they have. Yeah, and there's, because they know that's the dopamine there, like they know, there is a dopamine response to the fruits and the things like that, but that hot sauce is what gets people to come back to the restaurant, like, and that's, it's a bit of a marketing thing, I'm sure, and they're not doing it out of malice, but some places are doing it out of malice. And Carrie says, Carrie here is talking about the letting other people cook our food and us cook our foods. And she said she actually used to cook a lot. It was not the healthiest foods, but we were never a family that ate out 4 times a week for dinner. Yeah, it was something where I ate out a lot for lunch and for breakfast away from home, but there was always food when I got home. And if the meal was too healthy, like if I called Carrie up and I say, hey, what are we having for dinner tonight? And she was like, oh, it's going to have spinach in it. I'd be like, okay, cool. I'll see you when I get home. And then on my way home, I'd stop by the gas station and buy a chicken sandwich. Like I would, but at home, the food was much healthier than the food that was not at home. And um, the and by doing that, um, by eating out so much, because you gave the example of your fruit place, they want you to try their salty hot sauce, and that makes them unique. So that's a bit of a marketing thing. It makes them different than the competitors, or it might make them better than the competitors to many people. But the fast food restaurants are doing the same thing, and they just keep upping the game more and more and more because they're competing with each other, and then they're competing with these bottomless checkbooks, or these bank accounts that don't have a limit on them. And so they just keep upping the ante, so the McDonald's burgers that you ate in the 1960s are not the same McDonald's burgers that you're eating in 2023. There's billions of dollars worth of engineering in, genetic engineering of the animals they're using, genetic engineering of the plants that they're using. And then there's chemical engineering for the making of the foods as well that they're adding to it. And just billions and billions and billions of dollars to create a product that will blow away the competitors, and their competitors are sitting there spending billions and billions of dollars developing a burger that will blow away the competition. And they just keep spending the more and the more and the more money. And then we start seeing these crazy concoctions of food, you see, like, and I was eating a lot of them too, like I would get, Wendy's comes to my mind. Like, Wendy's sells a triple cheeseburger. Like, nobody in the 1960s would have ever thought to order a triple cheeseburger. And if they did, they wouldn't imagine that they would get what they get, in today's time. But the fact that the triple cheeseburger even exists is showing, that the company is playing to that dopamine hit, that, that little bit more, like, because just like a drug, this food leaves you always, chasing that high, chasing because when you first eat these foods, you get a super high. Like, I bet if I went and ate a cheeseburger right now, the dopamine response would be through the roof. It would be like somebody who took cocaine for the first time. That would be the response that I would get by eating some food like that. But over time, that baseline mood changes I was talking about, or that baseline, that the baseline mood changes, but the ability to hit that high end of your dopamine changes too. So if, you ate a cheeseburger and it brings you up to 99 or 100% on your dopamine level, today, and then you go back to your baseline, and then tomorrow you eat another cheeseburger, it might only bring you back up to 98.9, or, you might not get quite as high of a dopamine response as you got that first time. And then the second time it's even less, and the third time it's even less, and until you get to a point where it's not eating that one cheeseburger isn't giving you that dopamine hit that is making you feel that good. So then you throw a second burger patty on there, and then you do that until until it starts to not feel good anymore. And then you add a third patty, or then you add a chicken sandwich, and you eat the the triple cheeseburger and the chicken sandwich, and you get the fries and the chili and the loaded potatoes, and you start adding all the other stuff, and these fast food restaurants, they become buffet lines. That was when I would go to Long John Silver's, it was hardly any different than if I would have gone to a buffet restaurant, with the amount of food that I would walk away with in the end. And it would be something where and some days I would feel like I was ordering one of everything on there. And Carrie says, "Oh, what was that KFC sandwich that had the chicken patties instead of the buns?" Yeah, they got rid of the bread and they just said, "We're going to put 2 chicken tenders or chicken patties. We're going to put a burger in the middle of it." The other one that popped into my head as I thought about that was, there's like a land, sea, and air burger or something somewhere, right? I think somebody has the air burger. Let's see who it is. Is this McDonald's? Oh, it's a McDonald's secret menu item is what it says here. But yeah, it's a McDonald's thing where it's a chicken patty, it is a hamburger patty, and it is a piece of fish patty all on one sandwich. And Carrie says it was called the Double Down was the name of the KFC chicken sandwich. Yeah. It's just insane. The concoctions that they come up with, and that's one that I probably would have. I don't know. It seems so weird. Yeah, maybe not, but I would have ordered weird stuff like that. I ordered all kinds of monster ridiculous meals, when I was eating that stuff. Our Tiny Acre says that when you started McDougall's plan, you went to Wendy's a lot and just got a plain baked potato and a plain green salad. Yes. Yes, that's an option. I feel like I always have to tell my Wendy's story because it frustrated me, and it was the last time I ever went to Wendy's, and it was after I started this diet. So I was hungry one day, and there was a Wendy's on the way to work. So I was like, well, I can just go get a plain baked potato from Wendy's and I'll at least have something to eat. So I go through the Wendy's drive-through line and I order a plain baked potato and I grab the bag and I drive to work. And when I get to work, I open the bag up, pull the potato out. And when I pulled the potato out, there was a cut in the potato that they had used the spoon to like slice the potato down the middle, and all along the ridge of the cut was a pile of avocado or guacamole that was on the spoon that they used to cut my potato open. And I was really frustrated by that because not that there would have been anything wrong. Well, the avocado probably had salt, oil, or sugar in it, or all three. But that was just the avocado I saw. What if it had butter on it and I just didn't see the butter that was in there? Like I ate some of the potato because I wasn't planning on eating the skin anyways. I think because of the salt. I don't know. Do they salt the skin on theirs? Anyways. But that was the last time I went to Wendy's, and I was like, you can't even give me a plain baked potato without screwing it up. I'll just take care of potatoes myself. And so that's what we've been doing. In fact, I don't think I ate my lunch today. I have potatoes here. Yeah, I didn't eat lunch today. I didn't even go over my food. Maybe I did. I don't know where my phone's at. let me think of what I had for food last night. But yeah, I didn't even go over my food. Don't know where my phone is though. And that's even more frustrating. And Taro says, yeah, destroy the land, sea, and air. Yeah, it's pretty crazy the kind of change in position I've had with all of that by eating this way, and then eating this way after about 6 months and realizing that I was able to survive without, eating any animal products. And then, kind of looking more into the environmental impact that we have through our food choices. And it definitely destroys our land, sea, and air. Carrie says, bring those potatoes home. She has some ripe bananas. You bet. I'll have to grab them. I don't know what I got doing. I thought I did something. Last night. Yes, I told Carrie all about the soup last night. We had soup last night. It was so good. I'm gonna try to find my phone if you guys are cool with that. It's got to be somewhere within a 30-second walk. So let me check it out. Hold on a second. Are you calling my phone so that it helps me find it, or are you calling my phone? Okay. I think maybe Carrie was calling my phone to try to help me locate it. If that wasn't the case, let me know. I don't think I have anything I'm missing by being here. So yes, that's what I thought. Okay. So the food since yesterday. Oh, this is already giving me a weak signal. Let me see maybe it's on the wrong network. There we go. So, all right, let's try it now. See if it works better. Come on. What are you doing? Wait, it's way behind. All right, we're just gonna start it over here. Lots of technical difficulties. Okay, so this was the potatoes I was eating yesterday on stream, and I think that I could have won a food eating contest for how fast I finished the rest of that bowl last night after I got off stream, because I had to be up at a meeting an hour away, and I had to get there. I only had 55 minutes to get there. So I ate that about as fast as I could, and I didn't choke to death, thankfully. But that was the end of that. This is the soup from last night. I took a ton of photos of it. And so Rebecca says, oh, thanks, Rebecca. You guys are great at helping each other out. Thank you. Cindy says, I thought you were going to choke. Yes, on stream yesterday, you'd have been very worried if you'd have seen how fast I was trying to eat the rest of it. It was almost too fast at one point. So, this was dinner last night. Carrie says that it was called lemon wild rice soup, and it's from the Plant You cookbook. I think maybe she didn't write cookbook for dinner last night. Yes. It was really good. And I had a huge bowl of it. I don't really get a great perspective of how much was in there. There's either barley or farro in it. They taste the same to me, or they have a similar texture to me. So I'm not sure which one it was. If I had to guess, I'd say it was farro. And I had just a massive bowl of this last night. And I told Carrie this morning that I noticed that kale does not break down in your digestive system very much. I guess we'll leave it at that. And Carrie says that was the wild rice. There was mushrooms and carrots too. Yeah, that was the wild rice. Oh, okay. Because there was like long grains and okay. So it was just the little, it was like different types of rice. I see. So it was not farro or barley. I was off. It was just rice. So, yeah, I took lots of photos of it. It was very good. It was really good. And I would have eaten more. The only thing that I would say that I would have changed about this meal was that I wish I could have had it as leftovers instead of eating it for dinner. It makes me want to look into like the batch cooking with this type of stuff to allow the foods to like marinate together. Like this had great flavors and it was a great dish, but the leftovers with some of these dishes are so much better, which is really funny for me kind of to be saying because I never ate leftovers before. If it wasn't fresh, like the first day we got it, I usually wouldn't, with pizza, maybe I would throw it in the microwave, but with a lot of the dinners that Carrie would make, I wouldn't eat leftovers. And, that might've been a 2-part thing. It might've been that I had an aversion to taking leftovers. The other would have been that it would have been the choice between what Carrie made or going and getting fast food. And I probably would have chosen the fast food because I knew I could get the cheese curds and the French fries and the crap foods. Yeah, I was never a big leftovers guy. So, eating this way and then like while I was eating that last night, I was thinking I would so much rather be eating this tomorrow after it had been in the bowl all night. And yeah, so that's why I think batch cooking would be really nice to do on some of these things so that the food really has a chance to marinate. Produce.pills says, do you post about your lifestyle changes on your personal Facebook page? And do you ever get criticism? I do not. I don't know. Anything that's been on, I don't post a lot on Facebook in general. So like I have a Facebook page. My wife likes to make posts or share things that I do on her Facebook page and then tags me in those posts. So a lot of people would see my stuff through those tags. Now, Carrie, on the other hand, posts a lot about our lifestyle now that I'm thinking about it. And it is it's interesting to because like I'm trying to see if there's any examples in the recent but she will, she'll share recipes that are vegan recipes, like the chickpea cookie dough recipe she shared. I'm trying to think. There's some examples of things where she's a little bit more in your face about us being vegan or us eating a vegan diet. And she's never had anybody that she's told me about come back and say anything about it. But yeah, Carrie here says that there's really been no criticism. It's mostly just people saying that they could never do it, or my husband would never be on board with that, or, just them explaining away why they wouldn't be able to do it. And so yeah, that's but yeah, she's posted more about it than me, or she'll share a vegan meme kind of thing. I don't post any, like, I don't really do much with my personal Facebook. Anything that's on my personal Facebook is mostly stuff that my wife has. I do have an Instagram that really kind of blew my spot up as far as me being on this diet more than I wanted it to at the time. So I guess my intention was, when I started this, was for my weight loss channel, the fasting, the whatever I was going to do to lose weight, to kind of be in secret, or like I'm just doing it. I'm not really telling anybody that I'm doing it. I posted it on a few forums, to see if anybody would come watch my early videos, but I didn't want to put it out to people that I knew personally, because I was a bit embarrassed being 520 pounds and kind of showing this side of me, I guess. And I intended for them to be completely separate, that I wasn't going to have anything, that for a while, or, because I also didn't know how far I would get with this. Daryl Rash just subscribed to the channel. Thanks, Daryl, for subscribing. I appreciate it so much. You guys are all awesome for following along and everything. I was talking about, I was trying to keep it separate because, I was embarrassed, and I also didn't know if I was going to do it for more than a week or more than a month, or if I would do it for 3 months and lose some weight and then fail. I didn't necessarily want to put that out there to everybody I knew. But one of the things that I did when I started the channel was I created an Instagram account called Fasting, kind of play on the words with my last name and the word fasting. And so I created that Instagram account, and I posted a few things on the Instagram account, and then Instagram decided that since I have this diet channel thing and I have my personal account, that it should recommend my diet channel to anybody that's my personal friend. So early on, I kind of started seeing a lot of people I knew following my Instagram, and it was not my intention. And so it kind of, now I'm much more confident, and I need to start using my Instagram more than I do, but it's still kind of, I'm not to where I want to get, so I feel weird showing off where I'm at, if that makes sense. And partly because I'm afraid that I won't get to where I want to get to, I suppose, and I'm afraid that I'm gonna go back to where I was, and so that would be kind of a long drawn out explanation of the social media stuff. But I was going over food. I don't think there was really any other food photos. Let me see. The soup and then broccoli and oatmeal this morning, which you guys have seen a million of those. But that soup was really good, and I'm looking forward to having it again. Carrie says here that she did start a FOD dieting Facebook page. It might be linked in the description below. It is. There's a link in the description below for our FOD dieting Facebook page. So if you'd like to join that page, Carrie a lot of times just shares these videos on there, and we may try to do a little bit more posting on that too. So but right now I'm really just focusing on the YouTube stuff, or that's what I do. Most of my stuff is on YouTube here. And as far as getting criticism, I'm excited to get criticism from people because if they knew where I was at, I don't think there could be any criticism that I would really that I wouldn't be able to manage. Like it's something where I've spent a lot of time researching this way of eating now at this point, and I feel pretty confident in my knowledge base. Rebecca says your journey is what inspires people and lets them know that you can do it. Yeah, that's something that's a big part of it too, is that I want people to see that you can do it, and I'm still working towards that can do it too. Like I've done awesome losing 245 pounds. And that's an awesome thing. And I know that it inspires people. But I want to take it to the end, and when I when I get to my goal, I definitely feel like there's going to be a change in my attitude a bit, I guess, towards it. But I'm excited about where I'm at so far, how it's been going so far. Stephanie Simpson says, hello, John and family. Hello, Stephanie. I hope you're having a great day. We've just been talking about a bunch of different things this afternoon, and I don't really have a whole lot more that I was going to go over. I hit the big things, the non-scale victory, putting a new notch in my belt. I suppose I could have the taking control of your diet. I mean, it has been the act of being in control of how everything that you put into your mouth gets there is amazing. And we could do it even further. Like we could start our own sprouting, or we could do other things, do gardens, things like that. And I'm certain that those are only healthier things than what I'm doing. Like I'm getting my produce from a grocery store. I'm certain it would be healthier to grow your own produce. But me getting my produce from the grocery store, buying the tomatoes and making our own sauces is far better than going to the grocery store and buying the packaged sauces. Or going to the restaurants and eating their special sauces that they have at the restaurants. You just get even worse and worse for your health as you get more processed and as you get further away from the production of the food. It's an amazing feeling that you'll get when you eliminate those processed foods and you eliminate the added salt, the added oil, and the added sugar from your diet. It's pretty awesome how I feel baseline every day. It feels weird kind of saying it, or maybe it's a little bit, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but I feel better, like, and it's not just that I feel better today than I felt at 520 pounds, because that's easy. That's a given. But I know from my experience that even at the lighter weights, when I was at 320 and I was bouncing between 310 and 320, when I was at the 310, most of the time I was at the 310 when I was eating the healthiest, I felt better than I did at 10 pounds heavier. And I could feel the difference. It was a noticeable, tangible difference in how I felt. And if it's noticeable and tangible over the course of one day, then you take that tangible amount and you add it up day after day after day after day after day after day for the rest of your life. And that adds up to being a lot of stress you added to your body, or a lot of good feeling you missed out on, I guess. Yes, we are very busy with lots of stuff, with the kids and company and all that stuff. We're very busy. Okay, so Carrie's saying, with how busy we are with everything else, grocery store produce is okay by me at the moment. Yes. And yeah, it's I mean, I'm sure you could fit gardening in, like, in the mornings before, from 5 to 6 a.m. or something. Sure, we could get that done. We got to get the kids involved, get them to start gardening, and then we can just pawn off all the work on them. That's the goal. But I should probably get going today. This is about as long a stream as I've ever done. So I appreciate all of your guys' support and for following along with me as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds. It's amazing weather outside right now. So definitely get a chance to get outside if you can get outside. Our Tiny Acres, you have a great evening as well. If you guys have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you get subscribed to the channel. Click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. And make sure you hit that thumbs up on the video as well. That really helps things out. And if you have not started your diet yet, get started right now. There's nothing coming up that's more important than your health or your overall well-being. And there's nobody that gets to their goals, looks back, and wishes they would have waited. So get started right now. And I will see you guys maybe tomorrow. It's Friday. I don't know. Friday or Monday. If I don't see you tomorrow, have a good weekend. But I'm going to try to get on there. So, all right, you guys, talk to you later. See you next time.